If you've been struggling with your weight, Mochi Health is here to help. Mochi Health is a long-term weight loss solution personalized to fit your unique needs and goals. Meet one-on-one with board-certified obesity doctors and registered dietitians who are on a mission to listen. Eligible patients can access custom-formulated GLP-1 medications at an affordable set price and get them delivered to their home each month. Take our free quiz at joinmochi.com and use code AUDIO40 at checkout for $40 off your first month of membership.
Brews and Banter.
Hi, Frank.
Hey, Roman, how are you?
Great. Hello, Paul.
I'm lined up here.
Hello, good to meet you.
Yes, we got another guest today, and this is whoever you are. Say who you are.
Can we, before we jump in, sorry to interrupt you, Paul, can we just say what we're drinking? We keep forgetting to mention. I was talking to someone, they're like, when are you going to mention when you're drinking?
All right, so I guess you're going to mention what you're drinking then too. So
Sure. So I'm Paul, the service manager with Fox Pest Control in Syracuse here. And today I'm drinking a Voodoo Ranger Choose Your Champ Electric Thunder IPA.
Ooh, big guns, IPA. I'm drinking an all IPA also, Roman. You probably got like piss water. But this is a 6.3% Al's Eclipse from Equilibrium.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I had that, actually.
Well, what do you have now?
I'm having...
It's leaking.
It's called Blaze Brewing Company.
It's like a fucking 2% or something.
And it's 7% alcohol.
Ooh.
Getting crazy.
Pastry sour.
Ooh, that's interesting. I don't know if we've had many of those.
I don't know.
You know who has pastry sours? Those Crazy Stout girls. Crazy Stout ladies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they love those. Because I guess February is like stout month. You go from dry January to stout February. But either way, go ahead, sir.
Paul, thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, so I'm the newish service manager for Fox Pest Control here in Syracuse, in the greater Syracuse area. I guess we'll talk about how I discovered you guys. I happened to be at a Chamber of Commerce luncheon the other day.
Yeah.
Having some delicious angry garlic lunch.
Perfect.
And yeah, it's hard to be
Can't
mad.
go wrong with that, right?
You guys came pretty highly recommended. I sent an email, and the rest is kind of history.
Yeah.
I've got pretty deep ties with Baldwinsville. I lived in the area for 20-ish years, give or take. My daughter will be graduating Baldwinsville High School this year. I trained with Ben, who you guys probably saw on here, over at Haven. Mm-hmm. My kids trained with Ben over at Haven. So I've been around the Baldwinsville area for a minute.
Nice.
Yeah, this is nice. Like everything sort of ties together with people. We got.
Yeah. It's like we always say, community. I mean, this legit community here. People really take care of each other, know each other, good to each other.
And so, what did you? So let's start with like not out of the womb, but
Sure.
let's do the early beginnings of Paul.
Sure.
So did you grow up in Beeville?
No. So I actually grew up in the city of Syracuse.
Okay.
North side adjacent, I like to say. Really, it's Eastwood.
Yep. Okay.
But yeah, so I mostly grew up in the city of Syracuse, moved around a bunch. The most of my time, if I had to pick like a graduating high school, it would have been Solvay.
Okay.
I was literally just in Lakeland down the street here. So, I always spent a bunch of time out here, had a bunch of friends out here and that kind of stuff. When my now ex, I guess, and I got pregnant with my daughter, we found a place in Beeville and just moved out here and kind of loved it, really. I mean,
it's really nice, really.
It's fantastic, yeah.
And then you get out of high school. Where did you start work? I guess what led you to where you are now?
So it's funny, the genesis story for pest control and pest control technicians is kind of the same. Nobody ever goes looking to get into pest control. It's just not something that's ever considered as a career. I sort of grew up north side Italian, right? So we're into construction and that kind of stuff.
And everything ends in a vowel.
Yep, absolutely. You got it, brother. You got it. So I grew up in construction. I was managing a commercial building where the first company that I did pest control for had their first office. Again, north side Italian. So my daughter went to Catholic school. The daughter of that pest control company went to an opposing Catholic school. Just by way of being around the building, we got to know each other. We would compare school stories, that sort of thing. And the guy approached me one day. He was like, "Hey, man, like, you ever thought about doing pest control?" And I was like, "No. Who thinks about that?
Right.
Like, who does that?" And sort of the rest is history. I got into the industry. We'll probably get into what my first job in the pest control industry was. It's still top 3 worst jobs I've ever seen. It's awful. But yeah, so that's sort of how I got into the industry. And as I started to learn it, I really got to love it. And more so because I get to be a superhero, right? If you call me, it's because you need me. You have a problem. So I get to come and be the hero every goddamn day. It's fantastic.
Sure. And now, as a service manager, you're servicing vehicles?
Oh, no.
Or-
So I now manage our whole technician team.
Okay.
We're 13 right now. We're just in the middle of hiring season. By the time I'm done hiring, or by the time we're done hiring in April or May, it's probably going to be 20 technicians.
Okay.
As a whole, Fox is a relatively large company. We're 33 branches, mostly on the East Coast, but spread out through the United States. Syracuse is one of the smallest branches that we have currently.
Okay.
And population, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've got a branch in Rochester who's got 12,000 customers, and their population out there is comparable to ours. We're so small, and we're a brand new branch too. I mean, we're only 5 years old.
So how old's the one in Rochester?
Rochester's got to be 9-10 years.
So, but then there's 12,000 customers. Oh,
Our whole company only has been around since 2012.
That's great.
I mean, we're really a pretty young company.
I didn't realize it was even that. So
In general, throughout
Yep.
the country.
Yep.
So you, or I don't know what you have to have in your position, but I know there's certain licensing and certifications and all this stuff.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, tons. I've got currently I hold licenses in 5 what they call, I guess, categories. I'm able to do commercial food service, residential, structural, lawn and ornamental, so trees and lawns and golf courses. And then we're working on aquatics right now, which would be like water stuff for mosquitoes. Then I've just got a regular old applicator's license. Yeah, it's a long process. And we're really, really strongly regulated by the state.
That's right.
Which is it's a scary thing to do.
Sure.
For sure. But yeah, it's sort of to get to where I am. I mean, I've been in the industry for 10 years now, and it's taken every minute of those 10 years to sort of get to where I'm at now.
Yeah, I imagine. So are you limited to what chemicals you can apply? Do you have to have licenses specific to certain different things?
You do. So not really. We'll take Shane, for example, who's sitting out here off camera. So Shane is what in the industry is sort of referred to as an apprentice, right? He can apply anything that I can as long as he's in direct supervision of me or somebody who sort of holds the licenses for that specific category, right? So what like being an applicator and getting licensed and that stuff does is it allows me to buy and sell chemicals. It would allow me to actually own and operate a pest control business, and it allows me to train people to be able to do those same things. So where we sort of get into like sticky situations is where not us, of course, but you'll find companies who like maybe don't follow the rules so well, and like things can get off the rails in a hurry. You got to be really squared away.
So, I mean, it's all hazmat material.
A lot of it is. I'd say it's probably 50-50. A lot of the stuff we use, quite frankly, you could go buy something comparable at Home Depot, which is sort of problematic. Me as a pest control professional, I'm very limited on what I can do. You guys as Johnny homeowner can go buy basically the same shit at Home Depot and spray your fucking boat out in the river with it.
Right.
It's wild.
Yeah. I thought there's different concentrations or something. No?
Not for those. So for anything that you guys could buy that we use, it's basically the exact same with a different label.
Okay.
It really is all about knowing how to safely apply.
Yeah,
it
your knowledge
and
is
where to
what people are
apply it.
paying
Yep,
for. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I get it.
It's like when people buy shit to prevent mice. They put like the poison on the inside of the house.
Sure.
You should put it on the outside, right?
It depends. So mice, particularly, this is a debate we have in the office all the time, actually. It's hilarious you brought it up. Mice are sort of finicky creatures, man. They're dumb as hell.
Yeah.
They're just dumb. Now, rats, on the other hand, are super smart. Like, if you guys want to talk rats, we can talk rats. They're neophobic. They get scared if you put something new in their environment. Like, they're wild. Mice are pretty dumb, though. Inside mice are inside mice. Once a mouse comes in, he's never going to leave again. A mouse will exist basically in a 30-foot bubble. That's it. If he can find food, he's good. Mice don't need a daily water source. If whatever they're eating, the food that they're consuming, has a 16% or higher moisture content, they don't even need water. So they're good to just chill. So it sort of depends, again, inside or outside. If they're in, they're in. If you put it outside, it's not going to draw them back out. Really, like the best way that you could prevent mice is to just make sure that there's no holes in your house.
Yeah.
I mean, something like this, the size of my pinky, plenty enough to get a mouse in there.
Get through.
They breed in a hurry. I mean, they'll have a litter of pups. Will be, say 8 on average. 4 are going to be female. Those 4 females sexually mature in 45 days, can immediately get pregnant. And as soon as mom gives birth, she can get pregnant again right off the rip. Wow.
Oh man, I'm glad they're not humans.
My goodness.
It would be overpopulated.
Yeah.
Is it true the rats fuck like humans?
What, there's like a missionary rat position?
That's a solid question. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
You ever seen a mouse penis? Like, you ever seen him do it?
I think I saw that on Rush Hour.
I might have to research that. I don't know that I want it on my Google search history necessarily.
Log in as Roman.
Yeah, that's it.
I want it on mine. I'm going to look it up. You guys talk.
That is a weird question, Roman. Like, I thought I would have probably asked that, but good job.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm proud of you.
In all my years, I don't know that I've ever seen that. Yeah, I don't know.
I saw this. I think a Rush Hour 2 movie.
Okay.
It was like they fuck like us.
So, like Kevin Hart said that.
Let's see. Hold on. Do rats fuck like humans?
Oh my god.
While rats and humans share some similarities in their reproductive systems, there are also significant differences in their mating behaviors. Rats are driven primarily by instinct and hormones, whereas human sexuality...
I mean, I would say same. Really.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There you go.
I mean, really, they just described us.
We're not that different.
Right.
So you got to this position recently?
So I've been the service manager for just about a year now of this branch.
But you've been with Fox for 10 years?
I've been with Fox for 4 years. I've been in the industry for 10.
Oh, I see.
My branch has only been in existence for 5. We're one of the younger. I was going to say youngest, but that's not true anymore. We're opening branches fucking every 6 months.
But at least you're on the ground floor where the branch you're at.
Yeah. So I mean, I've been there for 4 years. We've been open 5. I've been just through circumstance sort of involved in leadership in my branch the entirety of the time I was there. I just got like an official title and promotion and whatever just this last year.
Perfect. Yeah.
So you said you're like a hero. Do you have a cape? You should keep one in the. You should keep one.
If I can find one short enough for me, man.
No,
listen,
but
I can't be dragging my cape on the ground.
Sadly, that's probably all he'd wear, though.
Yeah, maybe. It might be. It might be.
Would it say Fox in the back or would it be a bug?
Oh, it'd have to say Fox. Yeah.
It might say Fox.
It's also that.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah. So you, right? So you're here now. You've done what you've done. You're kind of in this industry. What else do they offer? I mean, I know it's pest control.
Sure.
Is there specialties? Like what's kind of stuff people maybe don't understand that you can hire a pest control company to take care of that maybe the general homeowner wouldn't know about?
Oh man, so really like the biggest thing and the thing that we offer. And listen, every company offers the same shit, sort of, right? Like we're all going to do the same things for you to one degree or another. Excuse me. But really, like prevention is the key. People will have problems with, say, stink bugs in February. Your wife's going to get pissed off because she's washing the fucking dishes.
Or ladybugs or some bullshit.
And there goes a stink bug crawling across the wall. The time for us to treat for those stink bugs that are pissing your wife off in February is August.
Right.
So it really, truly is about prevention. And I say all the time, this might not be a popular opinion to put out to the public, but pest control is largely a luxury. It's not a necessity, right? So we really try to offer the most comfort that you can have in your space, free of pests, bugs, mice, rats, all of that sort of stuff. For a competitive price. We're not the cheapest. We're not the most expensive. But we're competitive, and we really sort of go the extra mile, and that's kind of where.
So your values in the service.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. My value is very much in my technicians and the relationship that you're going to have with them. If Shane comes to treat your house this month, in 3 months, it's going to be Shane again.
Right.
And then in another 3 months, it's going to be Shane again. And then a year from now, it's still going to be Shane. You're going to get to know him. He's going to know your kids. He's going to pet your fucking dog.
Yep.
That's really what we offer that I think sort of sets us apart.
He's gonna pet your fucking dog.
I love it, man.
That's okay.
No, really, like that's sort of what sets us apart, though, at Fox. And we'll probably get a little bit more into that and like the other stuff that we do that's different. But we really value relationships first. And that's why, like, I did this. That's why I'm joining the Chambers of Commerce and that kind of thing. And that's why, like, I do all the volunteer stuff I do. I grew up in a place and in a time. In a situation where, like, I was heating my house, or my mother was heating my house with the fucking oven door.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this community has allowed me to be way more successful than I ever expected. Do things in my life that I never ever thought I'd be able to do. And I really believe that like giving the community back that experience is the most important thing.
Yeah. It's nice. And I mean, people will see, we have a lot of these interviews. You check some of these things out.
Yep.
And you know, as far as Baldwinsville go as a community, I know you service all surrounding areas as well.
Sure.
But it's kind of a pattern with people that, you know, everybody talks about how it's small enough to be connected and big enough to all survive.
Sure.
You know,
Yep.
and in that family sort of, you know, everybody's not in it just for $1 and fuck off.
Yeah.
You know, like people are actually care about what they're doing and the food they're serving you or the pest control they're providing and it's really unique. Because we're all in this area. I mean, maybe other places do. I don't fucking know. I don't live there.
Sure.
But like, I live here, and this is what I want.
Right. No, and I mean, we might get a little bit meta here, but like, I'm so connected to Beeville, weirdly, because I'm not actually from Beeville, and I don't live here now. But like, if I need T-shirts, I use Andy.
Yeah, sure.
Down the street.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm always here and like always doing stuff in this community for sure.
Yep. And then, so what is the limit? I mean, there's pests, right?
Sure.
What is the size? Where's the limit for a pest? Like, is a fox a pest? Is a porcupine a pest? What the fuck?
I mean, I wish. I need a fox pelt on my wall, but no. No, so we'll basically treat anything from, you know, a carpet beetle to a rat.
So rats about largest size.
Anything bigger than rats, then we're getting into like wildlife management type stuff. Okay. It's a whole different set of licensing, a whole different set of headaches. Something we're very much not interested in.
Rats are so fucking destructive too, but we don't have that problem where we are that I know of. I mean, I don't know how much you...
Are there rats in Syracuse?
Sure.
Oh, sure there
tons.
are. Yeah.
Tons and tons and tons.
Probably in some of your fucking rental properties, Roland.
I was going to ask.
I mean, off camera, if you want to tell me where your rentals are, I can tell you, but...
No, I don't think any of my rentals have rats, but squirrels is a problem.
Sure. So squirrels, again, that's going to be nuisance wildlife management. And that's a whole different set of headaches that I'm not even sort of interested in. Yeah.
I knew this one guy who would catch them, spray their tail with orange and let them go. He's like, that way I know which motherfucker keeps coming back.
Yeah, listen, I've had customers tell me with squirrels specifically, they thought it was the same one, was just causing havoc at their place. They would catch it, drop it off. A couple, 2-3 days later, there's a damn squirrel back. So they did exactly that. Spray painted the damn thing, dropped it off on 8, 10, 12 miles away, and wouldn't you know it, 3 days later, there's the goddamn safety orange friggin' squirrel just out there raising hell.
I'm confused with this because, you know, maybe I see a squirrel, I shoot the fucker, and then you don't come back. So I don't have to worry about spray painting shit.
Yeah, so no, yeah, I'm not...
I know if someone else comes back, it's not the squirrel I killed. So that's kind of the way it works for me. No, I'll go pet your dog when I'm done.
I think squirrels, they're like generational. Like their other generations will know to come back to the spot. Like if it's got food and heat and warm, and like they'll come back. Like there other.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not that up on like squirrels and that kind of stuff. I mean, that's just the truth of it. I'm just not. That's not where
they fuck up houses. So
they do. They make a mess. We get a lot of customers that are having real problems.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have to be like, yeah, man. Like it's a squirrel. You should figure that out. Like there's just nothing we really.
And with mice, they like piss and shit where they eat is fucking disgusting.
They do.
Like,
so mice
they're like crack habit without having the crack habit.
Yeah, mice are awful. Like I said, they're just dumb.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've also got like really poor bladder and bowel control. So they do just make a mess. Again, rats on the other hand, not dumb like mice. They'll actually use like their bathroom habits and stuff. They'll designate a latrine. And they'll use like their bathroom habits to communicate that like this is actually a safe spot to be at or whatever. Yeah.
Do rats, like you see them in movies, or will they bite, or will they eat a human? Like, I see these in these movies and people are scared. We're like, well, just fucking kick it.
I'm sure they would. I'm sure they would. They're fairly opportunistic. You'd have to be in a pretty unique set of circumstances.
So they will eat like if there's nothing else available. Like it's not like if you just see a rat, all of a sudden it's gonna fucking bite you.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Well, that's what the movies do.
Super skittish. They don't want to be near you. They want to see you less than you want.
And movies are always real life, so that's what I go with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I always say if it's on the internet, it's gotta fucking be true. It's definitely true if it's on the internet.
I don't remember what movie this was, but I saw this corrupt cop. Right, he was working with this mafia or gangsters or whatever. They put a rat on his stomach, and they covered it with a steel
He's got to fight his
bucket.
way out.
Yeah.
And then they were heating it with the torch, and he was like, "You got to give me the information, or this rat will eat through your stomach to get out."
That's an interesting concept. I
So,
mean,
yeah.
it might work. It's worth a try.
Depending
I mean,
how this fucking
you really
interview
need
turns out,
answers.
like, you got a bucket?
Yeah.
he gave up the information, so it must work.
So we talked about some things. Now we can get into philanthropy.
Sure.
You're talking.
Sure.
We probably need to talk about some of this disgusting shit you've seen.
Oh man.
You know,
In what order should we do it? Should we do disgusting shit first and then philanthropy?
Yeah, I don't know. Do we want to open on or close on like the good stuff we do?
Do you need a beer?
I mean, I always
Okay, so we should do that.
Just let us know when you need refill. I mean, we have a refrigerator.
And then what do you want to start with? Good, like
I don't care. I'll let you take the lead. And no holding back.
I feel like we should close on philanthropy, probably.
All right, let's
okay,
do
that's
that.
good. Yeah,
'Cause I'm
it's
gonna
like a
tell-
bedtime story. Ends well.
I'm going to tell some wild stories, and then I need to bring people back for sure.
I've been looking forward to the wild stories.
Yeah. I mean, dude, pest control's nasty.
So there's gross stuff. There's gross animals. There's gross what you see, and then there's other things you find when you're doing it.
There's gross people.
Yeah.
There's gross everything. Yeah.
So before we get into that, sorry, we should talk about Fox as a business.
Sure.
How does it work for people and contracts or payment plans, or how is a seasonal? Can you get a one-time thing? Like how does this work?
Sure. So I mean, we really ultimately, and especially here, like if you call me, if you get a hold of my phone number, I'm going to do whatever I can to help you. It doesn't really matter what you're looking for, what your budget is. Like I'm going to get you squared away. As a whole, right?
How about? Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I this fucking happens to me, right? Shit pops in my head. It's
I love
good.
it.
How about bees? You take care of bees?
We do. So let's be careful with our verbiage. We don't want to kill most bees.
Not the Bonzo bees.
We don't. Also, the Bonzo bees. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. We don't want to kill most bees.
Okay.
Most bees are very, very productive.
Which bees do you not want to kill?
So we definitely don't want to kill honeybees. If you call me and you've got a honeybee hive in your house, I'm going to give you two options. One, I'm not going to love, and we're not going to be friends after.
You still pet my dog or no?
But if I might pet your dog. But one option I'm not going to love, and we're probably not going to be friends after. If they are an actual threat to your safety, right? So they're in the house. We can kill them. The other option I'm going to give you, which I hope you take, would be call my bee guy and have him come rescue those bees. So
Okay.
we don't kill them.
So you have a bee guy to rescue, but you guys will annihilate.
If we have to.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just honeybees specifically.
I'm talking about these things that hang out underneath your deck, underneath your table, like you're trying to fucking enjoy
You're talking
something.
about like yellow jackets.
I'm talking about the fuckers that bite me when I'm trying to enjoy a deck dinner.
So that is not bees. I'll set them on fire.
Okay, good.
I'll show up to your house with a
that's what I
flamethrower.
need.
Yeah.
So we'll talk offline because that's not, the ones that build the shit on your fucking mailbox
Yeah,
or
so
the corner of your house and
we
shit.
wanna be really
Look at Shane. He knows. Shane knows. So you guys can't see Shane, but Shane fucking
Shane's
knows.
the best,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, so we want to be really careful with pollinators, which
Yeah.
are actually
I understand
bees.
that.
Wasps, though, yellow jackets, fucking paper wasps, all of those things. Yeah,
Which one's a birds
We'll
in
set
their
'em
fucking
on
wood?
fire.
They like make a perfect fucking drill hole.
Carpenter.
So that's a carpenter.
Those fucking like perfect drill hole, man.
That's a
fucking
carpenter bee.
great.
I don't mind as much like having to kill them because they do a ton of damage.
They do.
They're not aggressive at all. They're just big and scary, but like they won't sting you mostly.
And bumblebees don't sting, right?
Bumblebees,
The big fatties?
bumblebees, when they get pissed off, will give you a real bad day.
Okay.
Also pollinators. So we try to be careful with them. But again, they're more of a threat to health and safety. Honeybees, I mean, you could fucking pet a honeybee, man, and you would be fine.
Yeah.
So we really, specifically honeybees, and we have to be careful with them anyways because they are protected.
I understand.
But yeah, so honeybees, like we're always going to try to take the option of not killing them. We can relocate a hive easy peasy.
Yeah.
Easy for me, not so much for you. It's going to cost you a couple $1,000.
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with
But-
the honeybee. I have the
Yep.
problem with those little fuckers that want to bother
But yeah,
you.
yellow jackets and that sort of thing.
They
man,
look like
that's-
fighter jets.
Yep.
Fuck
Yeah,
that.
they're awful.
Aren't yellow jackets attack honeybees as well?
They will. So there's actually a specific breed of or a specific species of yellow jacket called. They're actually referred to as a bald-faced hornet, and they're not actually truly a hornet. They're just a separate species of yellow jacket. They will wait until bees establish a colony, go in and kill the queen, and actually make the workers from that bee colony work for them. It's wild.
Like slave bees?
It's wild. It's absolutely wild.
I read an article where a wasp, I don't know what type of wasp it is, injects something into a cockroach's brain and makes a cockroach its slave. Have you heard of that?
That I'm not aware of. I do know of field ants, though, which is sort of as cool or maybe cooler. They're one of the few species of ant that we have here that's not like a true pavement ant or a sugar ant that everyone will call, or a carpenter ant. They're a little bit smaller than a carpenter ant. What they will do, though, is bite you with their front mandibles, and then just for the sake of keeping shit not nerdy and sciencey, spin around and squirt acid out their butts into where they bit you. What? And give you a real bad time.
Are you a fucking ant, Roman? You're a fucking ant. But weren't you saying something about there was some story you told about how someone would do something and then the creature would go out into the water and drown itself?
Well, that's part of it. So it's true that there is a fascinating and somewhat gruesome interaction between certain wasps and cockroaches, specifically the emerald jewel wasp, also known as the Ampelicious wasp.
Okay, so that's like a weird, obscure one. I have an entomologist on staff. I feel like I should have brought with me now.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Remarkable and disturbing method of dealing with cockroaches. Here's a breakdown, blah, blah. It says wasps target cockroaches, often much larger ones. It delivers two precise stings. The first sting paralyzes the cockroach from lengths. Then second one, precise sting goes directly into the cockroach's brain. This sting delivers neurotoxin that essentially hijacks the cockroach's nervous system.
That's wild.
I'm
gonna tomorrow. I'm gonna spend the entirety of my day just researching.
I'll send this to you.
We can all learn a lesson from this.
That's wild. Yeah.
I heard about this like 3 years ago, maybe. 2 years
So
ago.
I mean, the truth of the matter is, I'm really up on like the stuff we have to deal with. Mm-hmm. That like sort of weird like fringe stuff. I'm just not. I don't know that much about.
Yeah, but it may change if you were geographically located somewhere else. Like
absolutely.
What do they have a lot of termites and shit like this, right?
Sure.
Like down south.
It's crazy. I used to say I've been in the industry 10 years. For 7 of those years, I used to be like, you don't have termites. We're never gonna have termites here.
Yeah.
I just did a termite job 6 months ago, pretty close to here, North Shore of Oneida Lake. One of the worst termite jobs that we've ever seen as a company, with 33 branches all over the country.
Yeah.
Just wild, yeah.
So do carpenter ants as bad as termites or no?
So
they do.
I guess you have to quantify bad, right?
Structural damage.
They absolutely. Where termites will actually consume the wood. They feed on the cellulose in the wood. Carpenter ants do not. They just excavate. So they'll do equally as much damage. But for very, very different reasons.
Yeah, I see.
They call carpenters. They don't build shit; they destroy it.
I mean, they do actually. If you ever see inside of like a carpenter ant colony, they're pretty fucking intricate, man. They're better than most Italians I know at building.
Probably looks at like those silos we're talking about buying. Those bomb silos. Remember those things you're talking about? The real estate we could buy with the missile silos.
Oh yeah.
You see these things? They're selling missile silos in the country, and you can buy. Well, you could go to a fucking piece of land. Like, where is this fucking thing? And it's like below your feet.
Yep.
And then you go in. And it's like a whole little thing. Like,
I mean, carpenter ants are they're aptly named for sure. Yeah.
So we were talking about how you get to the contracts, one-offs, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. So I mean, we'll basically give you whatever you need, or what. Yeah, we'll give you whatever
monthly,
you want.
Seasonally, quarterly, whatever the fuck it is.
So we are sort of bread and butter, and like the thing that works best for it seems like everybody is what we call like our home protection plan, right? It's 4 scheduled quarterly visits: spring, summer, fall, winter, specifically targeting the pests that you're going to be dealing with going into that season. We do bill it out monthly because again, pest control is not cheap, right? It's a luxury, not a necessity. So we bill it out monthly. So the payments are really, really easy to digest and to make. You know, we're looking on average $62, $63 a month. And then between those quarterly visits, if you have any problems at all, you're probably, first of all, which is turned out to be problematic for me with 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 customers, you're probably going to have my phone number. Yeah. If you call me on a Tuesday night at 8 o'clock and go, bro, I got fucking ants on my counter, my wife is pissed. I'm gonna have somebody at your house on Wednesday morning. Yeah. You know, so that's like sort of the crux of what we do is just all that prevention stuff. Now, if you have a really bad problem, all of a sudden you went on vacation, you come home and all of a sudden it looks like, oh, dude, mice have been in my cabinets. All of a sudden, whatever. I'm happy to come out and just take care of the mice and charge you just a flat rate for that. But really, like the subscription model, it's something that all of pest control is sort of moving towards, and it really is just the best bang for your buck.
That's right.
It really is. We just keep you covered all of the time. Anything that could go wrong, we're at your place. Even if you never call me for a target treatment or a callback in between visits, we're at your place enough that any problem that's going to develop, we're able to get out in front of it before it becomes a problem.
So subscription service covers all pests, not certain ones.
Well, we have to be careful saying all pests, right?
Well, all that you guys.
There's some specialty stuff, right?
You probably listed out. We cover this much.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It is plain as day what you're getting, what you're not. So, like, if you've got a regular HPP service, though, and heaven forbid, knock on wood.
That's human papilloma pyrus.
Yes. So if you've got just our regular quarterly subscription plan, right, and heaven forbid, you travel, you do something, you go somewhere, come home, and all of a sudden, shit, I found a bed bug. That's not going to be covered under that.
Right.
And that's only because that sort of situation is very labor intensive. It's very expensive for us to do and to do well. Also, though, again, you're probably going to have my number. So if you call me and you're like, man, listen, I've been with you guys for a year. This is this thing that's going on. I don't really want to talk. I don't want my neighbors to know, all of that stuff. I'm probably going to give you a break. But also that would have to be a separate service.
But you guarantee results?
Absolutely. 100%. Yep. And even so, like, we'll talk about, you asked, like, do we do, like, one-offs, right? So what we call that is, like, a single service. You call me up, man, I just got home. My kid got stung. There's a yellow jacket nest on the shed, right? I'm going to probably sell you a single service. It's going to cost you a couple $100. What's going to happen, though, is I'm going to send Shane or somebody out. They're going to take care of that yellow jacket nest. And for the entirety of the rest of the season, if you see a yellow jacket around your shed, you're going to call me, and I'm going to send somebody over there and make sure you're straight.
For an additional fee, or you're...
So for something like that, for like a single service, it's just going to be that one price, right? Call it $250 for easy.
So $250 for the summer season. Yeah, okay.
Something like that. Yep. And I mean, again, I'm super willing to work with everybody, and make things. Ultimately, we're a business, right? So it costs me about $80 to put a technician in your driveway.
Yep.
So we've got to make something. But really, ultimately, like, if we're making a few bucks, I'm fine with that. I really want to just make sure that everybody is happy and everybody is. Well,
and it leads to other things. Like, I mean, and again, you're a business. You want other things, but you're not necessarily driven on trying to get the other things.
No,
that, like, so it happened with us with the website, right? We had these one people. We needed a website. We got the website. It was really cheap, but they sell you on, okay, well, if you need add-ons to your website, you're going to come to us.
Right.
And that's the service we got, and that's the service. Well, I mean, I'll pay more for service.
They'll stop yellow jackets at your house, then they go to the neighbor's house, and you're like, hey, neighbor, call this guy.
Sure. Or not exactly, but sure. I like that business model.
Can you redirect my yellow jackets to the neighbor's house?
No, I wish I could. I do have a technician. I'm going to be really careful about this. I do have a technician,
fucking Shane.
No, it's not Shane. one of the times, it's not fucking Shane.
Poor Shane is like, I got to deal with these
I say
again?
fucking Shane all the time. But no, so I've got a technician who's worked for us for, we'll call it 18 months. For the entirety of that 18 months, this technician has been trying to figure out how to breed a bald-faced hornet colony in their apartment to give it to their neighbors. And I'm like, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. Just wholesale, we're saying, no, you can't do that.
Nice. That's perfect. Yep. So you got the plans, right? You got the one-offs, whatever it may be. And then from there, we go into the guarantees we talk about.
Yeah, so we guarantee all of the work we do, we guarantee through and through. Technically, like by the letter of the law, right, in our contracts, we give you, it depends, again, single service or the quarterly, like, subscription plan. With the quarterly subscription plan, you're just guaranteed flat out. I mean, we're coming back all the time, every time. Our single services, for the most part, read like, 30 days after we say that everything is good, you're guaranteed. Again, if you have my number and you call me, I'm just coming. Sure. I'm just coming. Yep. I just am. And that has been, for Syracuse, now a market like we talked about, like Rochester, who's 2.5 times as big as we are, or Buffalo got so big that they split. Now it's Buffalo and Orchard Park. Those guys probably can't do that. Right. Here in Syracuse, I can definitely do that. Right.
Well, and you guys are small enough to sort of put in that legwork, and maybe in 4 years that won't be the case.
Yeah, I mean, maybe in 2 years. Yeah. I mean, quite honestly, I'm doubling the size of my staff this year.
Sure.
Like quite literally doubling it. But as long as I'm here, like you're probably going to have my number. Like we're probably going to talk. You're going to see me. I might show up to do your initial service.
Yeah.
Like that's wild.
And you guys are probably highly seasonal in this area, right? Like you got to take care of many mice in February.
We're about 30. So my hiring is about 30% seasonal.
Well, I'm sorry, not about hiring. I'm talking about your service.
So no, actually, I mean, sure, we slow down in the wintertime. We're getting ready to crank up right now. Like I've got Shane doing all kinds of. He's trying to get fleet together, and we're April 2, April 3. It turns on, and we're going 100 miles an hour.
So you're far away, yeah.
Once November hits,
it'll be that.
Once November hits, yeah, I mean that's actually perfect. I've got. Listen, we're going to talk about a promo code. I've got all kinds of stuff for you guys. Once November hits, we do slow down. But especially here, not this year, all of a sudden we had winter again. Like, can we talk about that, by the way?
Yeah, we did. We just mentioned it. Like,
I mean,
where the fuck it was at for like 5 years?
Holy shit. We're still, so technically, we're still under average for snowfall, even this year.
But fucking cold temperatures, fuck that, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh. But the last 5 or 6 years, we've not really had winter.
Yeah, that's right.
For what we know.
Yep.
So because of that, we've not had big population die-offs of rodents and bugs and that sort of thing. So, I mean, we've been cranking year-round. Mm-hmm. This year, I don't know. We'll see how we go into the spring this year. But like rodents, going into October, November, early December, they're really just getting warmed up. They're looking for a place to hunker down. Rodents are all cold-blooded. So they need to find a place where they can have a food source, and they can keep themselves warm. That might be in the woods. That might be under your furnace. What'll happen, though, is inevitably, any winter, this one included, I mean, tomorrow, we're going to get a day that's 55 degrees. Yeah. Everything's going to wake up and think it's goddamn spring.
Yeah.
So what those mice and rats particularly, what they're going to do is they're going to go, man, we've been hunkered down for 6-8 weeks now. We've not ate. This place kind of sucks. We need to find someplace better. So, like, we'll have periods of that where if we get 2 or 3 decent days, even in January, things will ramp right back up. Because, again, mice are dumb. Bugs don't think through seasons. They don't work on our clock. Once it gets warm, they think it's time to go. So we do slow down in the wintertime, but like we never stop. There's never not a need for us.
It's interesting. I mean, you were in my barn. We kind of did some things in fall, but I take dryer sheets. I'm sticking them in the fucking exhaust of the, 4-wheelers and lawnmower shit. And I get mice, and it's a barn. It's a garage. It's just detached where it is.
Yep.
So I call it a barn. But I get mice in there.
Yeah.
But I don't know where their food source is coming from because I'm like, why the fuck are you in my barn? Because I don't know what you're eating.
They're just in your barn because they want to be out of the elements.
But where are they getting the food from to live?
There's no predators in your barn.
Do they hibernate?
They don't hibernate, but again, they will like hunker down though.
But they can't hunker down without a food source.
So they cache food, right? I would be willing to bet if you pulled like the rim off of one of your 4-wheeler tires or lifted a seat or something, you're going to find a bunch of nuts or fucking pistachios or helicopters off of the trees.
They all that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't realize it's just that. I don't know. I don't know what their diet was.
Yeah. No. So they'll cache food. And I mean, they really do. They focus on getting ready for, as dumb as I say mice are, they focus on getting ready for these times. For sure.
Yep.
All right. Serious business is over.
No. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I want to hear the funny stuff.
All right. I mean, what do you guys want to hear?
Tell us what the worst disgusting thing you've seen at Shane's house.
The worst I've never been to Shane's house. Funny enough, Shane's been to my house a lot. I'm one of those guys who's like super antisocial but social. Like I love to host. I love to put on events. And I hate every goddamn second of it. I really do. I really, really do.
Every time you're like, why am I fucking doing this?
I hate it. I had a 4th of July party last year that we set off fireworks at 8:30. And at 8:45, I was like, everybody get the fuck out. We're done. It's over with. It's done. Man. But so let's see. We touched earlier on my first job in pest control. So I'm managing this commercial building. Actually, ironically, where my office is now in the same building. But I'm managing this building. Get to know this couple who are just starting up their pest control company. Again, our daughters went to opposing Catholic schools and all that. And he asked me, like, hey, man, you ever been interested in pest control? I was like, no, because that's where we all come from. Nobody's interested in that. Nobody thinks of it as a career. To be fair, it can be a really lucrative and, like, successful career. It's 100% a blue-collar job. You're going to work. You're going to get dirty. It's going to be gross. But, man, you can make a great living at it. So through all that, I'm like, whatever, I'll give it a shot. but my first job with him, he's like, hey, we're going to do a bed bug job. I've never even seen a bed bug. I don't know bed bugs are a thing. We walk into this apartment on the north side, 4th floor, Spanish couple, doesn't speak English, keeps the heat at 87 about.
Oh, my God.
Awful. And there is bed bugs raining off the walls. Just off the walls. The place is so cluttered, the three of us, and anecdotally or not, because it has proven true with everyone I've known, if you get into pest control, you're going to get fat and you're going to get divorced. Now, I was married at the time. Unfortunately, we didn't get divorced, but that's a different story for someone else.
Unfortunately, we didn't.
No, I mean, so the truth of it is, without getting into it, like she passed away, whatever.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah. But I definitely got fat and definitely lost my marriage through pest control. But so yeah, we walk in and it's literally my first pest control job ever, and there's like bed bugs falling off the wall.
So you guys are like in Tyvek suits and shit? You going like
No, this guy was like, man, we're just rocking it out, raw dog.
raw dog?
Listen, we got on boots, khakis that were not, or pants that were not too dissimilar to these khakis that I'm wearing now. They were just Dickies instead of whatever, manager brand these khakis are. And a polo also not dissimilar to this. It was just blue and it said their name on it. And I was like, bro, this is not what this is why I never thought about doing pest control. Right. It was awful. I will say though that I was terrified. I quit probably 4 or 5 times that day. Right. But when we went back in 2 weeks and the wife, through literally Google Translate, was telling me that like I still got bit, but only a couple of times last night instead of 100 times or whatever. Right. And then we went back 2 weeks later. And she hugged me and gave me like some Spanish pastries and shit. I was like, this is it, man. This is what we're doing. Like we're actually changing lives on such a micro scale that most people will never see it. But that interaction with me and that wife, who we didn't even speak the same damn language, like sort of changed my perspective on life. Yep. It made me, and if we can talk about it or we can't, but a lot in my teens and 20s, I did a lot of taking away from my community. That one interaction made me go, holy shit, I can like give back and make a difference and like do something for people.
The passion is fucking phenomenal.
It's wild, man. Yep. But it was the grossest, still, it's the top 3 worst jobs I've ever been on in pest control in 10 years. But it really sort of changed my whole outlook almost on life. And that's why like I do the philanthropy stuff and the stuff that I do now. It just was fantastic. Now, if we want to talk about, this was literally the biggest dildo that exists.
Yeah.
That was his apartment building.
I know.
It was his bedroom. It was his bedroom.
Listen, man, I don't know y'all, but the way you talk, it might have been his bedroom. So there was no saving that situation.
It was a dildo with bed bugs on it?
It was a dildo under a bed with bed bugs on it.
Oh my God.
So that's the other side of what we do though. Sometimes you get into situations where like you have to laugh because things are just so grim, right? And again, now I don't know this lady. I only interacted with her a few times. But all of the stuff walking into this job was set up to know like this is not going to be a great one. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's a plastic chair upstairs in the living room, like full with fresh pee. Right. Again, also in my top 3 worst bed bug jobs ever. Yeah. But also,
and now you can't say no because you're there, right?
Right. So we get there though, and we're like, she's cussing us and whatever. Doesn't even want us there.
She's mad at you?
Yeah. She's just aggressive. So whatever. We talk her down. Like, no, listen, we're gonna get you taken care of. We're here for you. We're not judging you. We're not, and that's a thing, right?
Bullshit.
Like, no, honestly not. Honestly not. Everybody's got such a unique set of circumstances. Like, you can't really be mad at anybody for how they live. That is so much nurture and not nature, right? People only do what they know to do. So you can't really be mad at anybody for that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I was mad at this lady after I moved. I wasn't judging her, but I was also not thrilled. Again, a really bad bed bug job though. She's having a time of it, and I think she's not really mad at us. She's just mad at her situation, which I get.
Sure,
right? Like it's hard to be happy about this kind of stuff. So whatever, we have an interaction that doesn't necessarily go great, but she leaves the house because one of the few things that we need you to actually be out of the house for is bed bugs, fleas, There's very few things you can't be around for. Bed bugs is one of them. So she leaves the house. We get to doing what we're doing, and we pull her bed away from the wall, and hand to God, it is the biggest, just thickest, most girthy toy you've ever seen in your life. And it has very clearly been very recently used.
Oh, so Roman, tell me, how do people use that? What do they do with it?
I don't know. I have to look it up. Let me ask AI.
Why?
So she was just mad that you probably interrupted her.
Maybe. I mean, it could have been. It could have been that. Like, if we had waited 20 more minutes,
Yeah.
it could have been that. But yeah, it was just wild. We were talking about before we. I think.
So who got you to move it?
Oh, so I had to because I was the new guy at the time. But here's the thing, though. We joked a little while ago, I think, before we started, that $20 is $20. Right. So Shane will tell you, $20 is $20. I'm trying to pay people to do wild shit all the time. So the guy who I was working with, which was actually the vice president of the company I worked for at the time, that's how small we were. I managed to get him to pick it up because, he's super squeamish. So, like, he doesn't touch stuff. He doesn't mess with stuff. I managed to get him to pick it up. And I was like, bro, I will give you $100 cash right now. Laid it out on the bed. Was like, just hold it up like a submarine sandwich.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask him to lick it or something.
No.
God, yeah.
I love the guy. I cared about him. I didn't want him to die.
I got a line. I mean, that's not it, but I do have a line.
Yeah, he wouldn't go for it. He's still mad at I talked to him the other day. He's still mad at me about it 9 years later. Yeah, just hold that thing up like a submarine sandwich. I mean, it was the biggest, most wild thing I've ever seen in my life.
Crazy.
And we do. And that's the thing, man. Like, we joke, and, like, I'll sit here and talk shit with you guys. We interact with all walks and facets of life every single day.
Yep.
And my goal for my team is really to treat everybody with dignity and respect. Right? Listen, let's be honest. We're all gonna talk shit behind closed doors, right? But treat everybody with dignity and respect, and really try to take care of every person as if they're no better or worse than you.
And that's,
Like,
that's
that
life.
really is.
You should do that.
That really is life.
And you feel good about that, piece of it.
Yep.
And then,
What is your favorite pest to deal with and least favorite?
Oh, man. Wow. That's a good question, man. Holy cow. So that's hard to quantify because there's some stuff that, like, seems like it would be really hard or, like, really scary. Gigantic bee's nest in September, right? A yellow jacket nest that's got 1,000 yellow jackets in it hanging from a tree. I'm going to go out there and do some cool shit that's going to really impress your kids.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing I do all year.
Yeah.
But, like, what's like you get a call, you're like, oh fuck yeah, I want to do this, or another one's like, oh man.
So I do. I jump into like the gross ones, bed bugs and cockroaches, that kind of stuff. I like to jump into those because most of them are really hard. And so being successful at them, and again, the relief that gives those people that we're serving is the most gratifying for sure. So, like, the grossest shit is my favorite stuff to do. It really is. At this point, I've been around so long, and again, knock on wood, like, never taken anything home, never had any problems.
Right.
Like, I feel like I'm pretty up on, like, how to do that stuff. So I think the grossest or, like, most severe cases are my favorites for sure. I can't say that there's necessarily a pest that it would be my favorite to deal with, but, like, just the harder the job seems, like, that's my favorite one to be successful at.
Yeah.
Now, on the opposite of that, rats 100% are my least favorite to deal with. Anytime I'm looking at one of these guys' schedules and I'm like, oh shit, you got 2 rat jobs today? You're having a bad day, bro. And I know I'm getting 20 phone calls.
Because they're smart?
Because they're so damn smart. They just are. It's awful.
So, because it's frustrating.
It is. It's really hard. It's hard for us to be successful. I shouldn't say that. It's not hard for us to be successful, but it takes a lot more work and, like, a lot more cunning to be successful with rats than almost anything, really.
You guys should have, like, a success rat award.
I mean, listen, we do. So our home base, our headquarters is in Logan, Utah. And every March we do a summit. All the managers, service managers, all the bigwigs, all that get together there for a week. We do a bunch of seminars. At the end of that, we do have a banquet with like an awards thing. That might be a good one, man. That might be a good one to suggest.
That's the most difficult.
Yeah, they're hard. They're hard. And I'm sure if we called, I could call any number of service managers or branch managers from around the country right now. I'm sure they would all give a different answer. But for me, Dude, rats are the bane of my existence.
I mean,
They really
imagine
are.
getting a golden rat award.
That would be fantastic. I'm going to suggest, listen, marketing is expecting me to report back to them tomorrow. I'm going to suggest that, like, hey, we should do this. Like,
Golden
that
Rat
seems
Award.
like a
We
great
should do
idea.
the golden rat award, and we got to look into these wasps who slave cockroaches.
I'm going to research that. I'm also lying. I'm not going to research that. I'm going to call up Matt, who is my staff entomologist, and I'm be like, I need you to learn everything about these fucking wasps and teach me about them.
Yeah.
That shit sounds
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And then, what's the other thing I was going to say? Fucking lost train of thought.
Well, we talk about dignity and respect, and
Yeah.
you know, so now that kind of leads into the philanthropic.
Yeah, so here's the big thing about Fox. We were started by a brother and brother-in-law. Ironically, in Logan, Utah, we don't do any pest control in Utah. But we're like in Idaho and around Utah. But the whole basis of it really is, and like it has almost become sort of funny to say because it's such a catchphrase, we're really a leadership company that happens to do pest control. Right? So our goal, my goal with Shane even, we'll be just super meta. My goal with Shane is to just build him into a leader. Right? Someone who can be followed and who should be followed. And a lot of the ways that we do that is through service to the community. Now, my reasons for wanting to do community service stuff are much different than Shane's.
For sure.
Or than yours, or than any one of my technicians or any technician with us. But just this year, since I've been sort of given the reins to this branch, I guess we should back up. So the last 3 years that I was here, we didn't do a lot of the community service stuff. And once I was given the reins to the branch, excuse me, and was told like, hey man, we should start doing this stuff. I planned a project or two, and it seemed like I had to drag the guys along, and it was sort of a pain in the ass. By the third one, though, I was like, there's something to this. The guys started getting excited, and we were really making an impact in the community, it seemed like. So I made it my goal last year, since I kind of was able to be medium in charge of the branch anyways, was like, we're sort of not required, but they would like for every branch to do 4 service projects a year, 1 a quarter. I was like, fuck that. There's 12 months. We're going to do 12. We're going to do 1 a month. And again, the first 2 or 3, like I had to kind of drag the guys along. We did, I think our first one was packaging meals for Meals on Wheels a whole last month before Memorial Day. So Meals on Wheels, they're a 100% volunteer organization.
Right.
I'm going to pump up a bunch of orgs here that like I don't even mean to, but they're a 100% volunteer organization. And their volunteers are sparse at best sometimes.
Yeah.
So for holidays when like they're going to have really no volunteers, there maybe 1 or 2 people driving, nobody working the kitchen, they actually package and freeze those meals a month or 2 months ahead. So getting ready to go into the Memorial Day holiday, I had been calling around just trying to find something cool to do. Like, I want to get these guys excited about giving back. And again, my grandparents got Meals on Wheels, right? I'm going to talk about the food bank. My family, my parents went to the food bank. All of this stuff means a ton to me. I don't know what it means to these guys, but like all the projects that I'm involved in are really important to me. So we call Meals on Wheels though. We go there and it like kind of sucked. The lady who ran the kitchen was she's an older lady, sort of cranky. If you put 7 tater tots instead of 6,
Yeah.
she had a real problem with it. What happened though was our team was big enough at that point, we had to split into 2. So the front team and the back team sort of turned it into a competition, right? Can we package 500 meals before you can?
Right.
And it really just turned into that. And that's sort of where we fell in love with that stuff. So from there, like we did that thing, and then we did, I think the next one we did was actually CNY Food Bank. The guy I tried to pay $100 to hold the toy like a submarine sandwich is now the facilities manager at Food Bank CNY.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for another project. I called him up. I'm like, bro, you need guys to like package meals? Like, what are you doing? You sort produce? What are we doing? He sets us up, and I get to take the team out. And that day we packaged about 5,000 pounds of produce, which accounted for about 2,700 meals.
Wow.
That would be distributed in our community.
Yep.
Here in Baldwinsville, in the greater Syracuse area, in Liverpool, not outside of our zip codes. You know what I mean?
Perfect.
And then that started getting good to me. And I was like, man, I spent so much time taking away from these communities. There's not a chance in hell that I'm not doing this every single chance I
Sure.
get.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, and this is just being super candid, and we'll figure out when I talk to Christian in marketing tomorrow if we need to cut this or not. But there's people even on my team who, like, we're not friends, right? I'm their manager. We're cool. We coexist. I would never hang out and, like, have a beer with them. What this did was manage to bring all of my team together. And, like, we have a common goal. We have a common interest. Doesn't matter where you're from, who you are, how good or bad you are at your job necessarily, right? This is something that we all care about and are really, really interested in giving back to the community. And it's to the point now where, like, this month I'm crazy busy. So today I've got this with you. Next week I'm presenting 3 times at the Home and Garden Show. The next week I fly to Utah for a week.
Yep.
So I'm out of here. I've got nothing going on. These guys are getting mad at me because we don't have a project this month. They're like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we've done other really cool stuff. We do Habitat for Humanity stuff. We also do, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sarah's Guest House.
Yeah.
So we do Sarah's Guest House stuff. That one blew my mind when I learned about Sarah's Guest House. I was like, wait a minute, it's Ronald McDonald House for adults?
That's right. Yep.
Like, let's go. That's the best thing ever. And man, I just have found so much love and, like, gratification in doing those projects that there's not a chance that we're ever, not in Syracuse, we're never having a year where we don't do 12 projects a year.
Yep.
There's just no way.
Yep.
It's rewarding.
Not only that, but, like, it's such a great team building exercise. It's a great way to also to humble yourself, man.
Yeah,
Like,
you feel
in this life, like, we can get really full of ourselves. Like I said, and listen, I'm not rich by any means, right? I'm not making $1 million a year doing goddamn pest control. Let's talk about it. But I make a good living. I'm able to survive, and I am, quite frankly, doing better than anyone in my family before me ever did. So for me to be able to get to this point after all that I did in my early life, like, man, there's no other choice but to just give back as much as I can.
Yep.
Yeah. Even like when I was just referring to flying out to Utah at the end of the year, I called, her name is Christina Davis. She's like our managing editor, but really what she does is she just runs philanthropy. That's her jam. I called her a couple of weeks ago and was like, listen, I land in Salt Lake at 12:30 on the 24th. I can be in Logan by 2:30. How about you find me a project to do in Logan with my office team? Because that's where my office team is. I don't ever get to hang out with them.
Yep.
I was like, why don't you find me a project to do 2:30, 3 o'clock? We don't have any obligations till 7. That gives us a whole ass 4 hours. Let's find something to do out there. Like,
Perfect,
it's just the best.
That's good to do for sure. You know.
You like Utah?
I love Utah.
I used to live there.
My dream always has been to move out west. Now, I'll be honest, I never considered Utah because I didn't know Utah. I was always like Bozeman, something like that. I want to be in Montana. I want to be in the mountains. I want to be eating elk.
Yellowstone. You want to be at Yellowstone.
I want to be eating elk. That's where I want to be. The first time I went to Logan, Utah, before I was even in Logan, I was like, oh no, this is where I'm going. We were landing in Salt Lake. And I was like, I'm surrounded by mountains. This is my place.
Yeah.
This is my place. So anytime I get back to, and Logan is like, I don't know if you guys are familiar. It's just a tiny little town in northern Utah in a valley. I don't know. Their population is probably 50,000 at best. And it's just the best, dude. It's just the best.
I moved out of Utah 2001, I think. And I've lived there about 7 years.
Okay. Where in Utah were you?
Salt Lake.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Salt Lake's not bad. Now, Salt Lake is like, for like my retirement plans, Salt Lake is a little bit too metropolitan.
Yeah.
For me, I want to really be in like I want to see Idaho.
Yeah.
That's where I want to be in Utah.
So my oldest brother still lives there.
Okay.
So I go there and visit. I actually, with my son, drove from here to Utah.
That's wild. I almost made that drive a couple years ago, and just plotting it out was daunting to say.
We drove there, and on the way back,
it's what, 32 hours, give or take? Like, it's wild.
we took our time.
Yeah.
On the way back, we took even longer. We stopped at like Yellowstone and went to Mount Rushmore. Like,
okay.
Did some like off-roading in canyons. So I had a great time with him.
Yeah, I mean, Utah, honestly, like, when I'm ready to just sail off into the sunset, it's going to be Utah. It's probably going to be Logan, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But it's definitely going to be Utah in the mountains, just like watching the sun go down for the last time, man.
Yep.
It's so
in the summertime, seeing those white peaks, it's cool.
Dude, they just sent me a picture out the office window of where my office team is. They overlook a golf course And then beyond that golf course is just mountains.
Yeah. Mhm.
So today, the golf course is like green and perfect, and the mountains are all still snow-capped and stuff. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Every single time, it's breathtaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also lived part of the time in Utah on the east side of Salt Lake City, so
Okay.
it's closer to the mountains.
Yeah.
And actually, my junior high was on the mountain.
Okay, yeah.
on the side
so
of the mountain.
the beautiful thing about Logan is it is legitimately a valley.
Yeah.
So it's just surround. You can't turn around without the mountains being
Yeah.
there. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Like in New York, we have the Cortland Mountains where people go and ski and stuff. Like that's not mountains.
Oh, right.
man.
Yeah.
That's not.
Those
that's
are-
not mountains.
those are humps.
Yeah. Yep. We just got hills.
I live in Beeville and I grew up in Beeville. So that's where I am.
That's it, man. You've got the sled hill at Long Branch Park. That's your mountain.
The kitty hill.
I love being able to look in the horizon and see formations like
Sure.
mountains and
Sure.
hills. Where when I moved to the East Coast, I'm like everything's flat. Like
It really is.
Whenever I
So
look, I just see trees
once or
and-
twice a year, we'll have some of our staff, some of our senior staff from our offices will come out here, and that's every single time without fail. That's what they say. They're like, it's just so flat and like nothing. Like even this is even better. We still use like door-to-door knockers. Every summer we'll have a sales team. That's how we manage to grow so quickly as we have. But they're all almost exclusively from out west. So they'll get out here and a lot of them will like bring their family. They're married, they got kids. Their wives won't know how to navigate without the mountains to their left or right to know where the hell they're going. It's wild. Yeah.
No, it definitely is it was a big change. That's why I enjoy going to Adirondacks.
Sure.
I love seeing
Sure.
the mountains up
Yep.
there, and
Yeah, we're not far away from that. It's
No,
just,
yeah.
Right, it's just not
It's just
all
not
over
here.
the place.
Yeah.
yeah.
So what else we got?
Do you want to offer anything?
Oh, so yeah, I've got an exclusive promo code just for you guys. Anybody that calls in or signs up through the website and uses the code BANTER50, we will give a $50 discount off your initial service, off any service you need. And I'm going to run this. Now, this may be or may not be super popular. I'm going to run this, clean into the summertime. Anybody that hears this and calls in and, or signs up on the website, hit us with Banter50. We're going to give you $50 off. That's exclusive to you guys. Next week, you can come out and see us. We are featured presenters at the Home and Garden Show this year. Ironically, you guys are from here, so you know how long the Home and Garden Show's been going on.
Right.
There's never been a pest control company there, ever.
Well, we're probably this episode, unfortunately, probably air after that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Either way, good to know moving forward for that. Right?
Yeah,
but
for sure.
if we can, it might air.
We'll see what we can do.
Before.
Sure.
Yeah.
it is pretty close.
Yeah.
But we appreciate that promo code also. And
But yeah, absolutely. Anybody that calls in, signs up on the website. Also, to be fair, if you sign up on the website or call in, you're probably going to get my phone number, which means you're just going to get service all of the time.
what's the website?
It's going to be Fox Pest Control -Syracuse.
Okay.
Also, you can find us on Instagram. Same thing at Fox Pest Control. We're all over the place, man. I really want to take care of people. Anybody that reaches out, I'm going to make sure that you're good and squared away.
Perfect.
I know that. Again, pest control is a luxury. It's not a necessity, right? We're not cheap. It's not cheap just across the board. But I can guarantee you, if you call me or call one of my guys, we're going to give you definitely the best service and the best experience that we can, for sure.
$60-something a month. That's not. I don't think it's too bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
If you want the luxury, you cut down on some of the addictions.
Sure. Yeah. That's the thing, man. And that's the place where we struggle, right? Like. And I say, we have, when customers cancel, we have all kinds of different categories, right? Like, it was a financial cancel. They couldn't handle it, or they couldn't afford it here. Or it was this kind of cancel, or it was that kind of cancel. One of those categories is not enough value. So my thought is, for my branch, that any cancel is a not enough value cancel. You canceled me. You didn't cancel Netflix, right? You found value in Netflix. So how can I give you more value? Right, my guys are going to come to your house on Tuesday. They're going to see your empty trash cans. They're going to bring your trash cans to the door.
Right.
They're going to write you a note and leave it. They're going to play with your dog. All of those things is like the experience that I'm offering you that most of the other companies are really kind of not.
Yeah, and so your cancellations, nobody is canceling because they have a service issue.
I mean, that's
as far as
that's
as far
also
as,
not true.
Well, but as far as
sure.
interacting with you guys,
Sure.
right?
Yep. Most of our cancels are not that.
Yeah.
Most of our cancels are really, again, just what I qualify as not enough value, which just makes me motivated to go, all right, how can I show you more value in what we do?
Yep.
And we run a bunch of initiatives. We have like what's called the What Else initiative, right? Which is like, all right, I'm at your house. I did your quarterly service. We did all the things. All your bugs are good. What else can I do for you?
Yep.
Can I carry in your groceries? Can I do this? And like, again, the same as the philanthropy stuff. It started out as having to sort of feel forced, right? I had to tell guys like, bro, if their garbage cans are empty, bring them up. Why wouldn't you do that? It's gotten to the point now where like they almost compete to be like, who can do the coolest shit for people? And honestly,
that's good.
Well, I have guys text me all the time like, yo, I just put this lady's coffee table together.
Yeah.
Like I hand to God.
They
like
keep
it's
raising the bar.
Wild. It's really wild.
Yeah.
But that's the level of service and like attention that we strive to give you guys. And again, we really, truly, ultimately, at the end of the day, are trying to build leaders and pillars in our communities. We just also happen to kill bugs. That's what pays the bills.
Yep.
That's cool.
We certainly appreciate your passion for sure, right?
Yeah, I mean the philanthropy part of it, and where you have taken your team to do these extra things.
I didn't even get to talk about it. I mean, I have the directors of the Special Olympics and Make-A-Wish and all like on my speed dial. Yeah, like we really get into it.
Yeah.
Any others you want to mention before we wrap it up?
So I mean, the big ones that I work with, and not even the big ones, but Food Bank CNY is a big one for me. That's really, really, really important. North Area Meals on Wheels. We do a lot of stuff with them. And then obviously like the Special Olympics, we just went and worked the Winter Games last week. That was dope. I managed to get a couple of branches from other areas together. We just all went and hung out. Turns out if you volunteer to help out with gymnastics, you should have some gymnastics experience. They didn't tell us that before we got there. So what we did though was we made a bunch of signs and held them up and like supported the athletes.
You can roll mats and shit.
Had a great time. Yep.
Yeah.
So we do a bunch with them. We do a bunch with, like I said, Make-A-Wish. We grant a wish every year at our home office. We are maybe trying to get budgeted to do another wish, so a second wish every year. In a branch that we deem deserving. That may or may not happen. I don't know. It's really, really expensive to do.
But you guys are always coming up with ideas.
Yeah, I mean, and that's really it, though. Like, we are really a service-minded company that also can kill your bugs.
Right.
And we really love just giving back to the communities that we serve because that allows us to feed our families and to have decent lives and do cool stuff like this, right?
Yep.
Like, if I didn't serve Bevo, I would never get to do this. Like this is dope to me.
Yeah. When we moved our business here, we decided we're like we want to do more for the community.
Yeah.
So feel free to reach out. Like, hey, we need extra guys.
Oh no, I love it, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would be happy to have you guys out and like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're happy to go out and help. I have a friend who was opening a martial arts school. I was like, yeah, I'll help you. Mount those bag hangers and whatever. And
yeah, I mean, all of that stuff. I'm down. Hit me up. I'll send my team out there. Like I said, by the end of the summer, we'll be 20 or so techs. I'll send 3 or 4 out there, and we'll hang some bags or literally whatever we can do to give back is what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and if we come across something to do, volunteer work, maybe we can reach out to you as well.
Yeah,
like, hey,
sure.
You're looking for something to do.
Sure.
We got.
We're going into a new year. I need 12 more projects. Yep. So let's get after it.
And that's how it should be. I think it's great that you guys do that.
Awesome.
And thank you for that. All right. And wrap it up here?
Yeah, I'm good.
So please listen to us on what's the network?
Hopped Up Network.
Hopped Up Network. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm all hopped up now.
Yeah. HoppedUpNetwork.com and all the other
social media, Instagram, Facebook, X,
dude, how terrible is X? Man, couldn't it just be Twitter?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
As much as I love Elon, bro, sometimes you got to stop.
Because you want to say tweet.
Sometimes you got to stop.
But you can't say tweet, right? Like now, what do you say?
I X.
Or you say post.
I got off it. I guess just post.
Yeah.
I got off it. I just can't. I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense.
So go on our website, Brews Banter.com if you want to be a guest or you want to check out any episodes or any upcoming events, or our blog will start growing as well. Yep. Contact us through there as well, and you can be a guest. And that's it for now.
That's it for now.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Paul. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Paul.